I got a new show for y'all.
Got a damn good show.
All right, so there's this hot clip of they're having a discussion on CNN, and the Republicans and the Democrats are going back and forth about, the terrorism against Tesla, right?
Right.
So we're
They're
going to
discussing Tim Walt's comments, right? About Tesla stock?
yeah.
Like he's happy it's going down.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to react to this video, but this is a video by a progressive guy, and it's from his point of view.
Yeah.
So we're going to critique what happened on CNN, but also this nut job progressive who gave his responses in the video.
Right. But we're actually trying to learn what other people's perspectives are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Get that point of view. Oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to improve myself. I'm trying to actually learn.
Okay, so let's go. Watch this.
Where's the about Barack Obama?
Where do I fit? I'm Irish Lebanese. Am I like second class or where am I?
You tell me, ask your party.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know I
Hello,
Black
everybody.
woman right there.
Guys, let's get right into this panel. Republicans are panicking. Let's check this out, and we'll talk about it.
Republicans are panicking.
We got the White House. We got the Supreme Court.
Yeah, Congress.
We got Congress. I mean, why are we panicking?
That he's misrepresenting Republicans on this, but
About it.
Liberals be cheering on the demise of Tesla as Elon Musk continues his chainsaw attack in Washington. Now, keep in mind, the stock has taken a nosedive since the inauguration of Donald Trump, and it's so bad that Musk even recruited Trump to hawk cars outside of the White House.
okay, she's
The
misrepresenting.
hawk car?
Yeah, she's misrepresenting what's actually going on.
Yeah.
She's making it seem like Tesla's going out of business, and Elon Musk went to Trump, hey, help me out, man. Help me sell some cars.
Right.
No, that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
Tesla stock is down, but all stocks are down.
Yeah.
The what's going on with the market with the tariffs,
It's a correction.
it's a correction right now. So not just Tesla's stock is going down, all stocks.
But
going
Tesla,
down.
I want to say this, Tesla is falling harder than other stocks, but Elon Musk is a brave man to do the things that he's doing. He's taking a huge risk to his stock by doing what he's doing.
Right, standing up for what
He
he
really
believes in.
doesn't care about the money at this point. He
Yeah.
really doesn't care.
Yeah.
And the problems are getting worse for Tesla. Tesla vehicles are being vandalized, set on fire across the nation. And the Attorney General is now echoing claims by Musk and by Trump that the attacks are being coordinated by the left.
We believe these are organized. These are not individuals out there throughout the country doing this on their own. They're targeting Tesla owners. They're targeting Tesla dealerships. They're targeting Elon Musk, who is out there trying to save our country, and it will not be tolerated. We are coming after you. We will find you. And if you are an organized group who is funding this, we're going to find you too. You better look out and you better stop it.
Now, it should be said, the White House isn't providing any evidence of coordinated attacks, but MAGA is furious over.
Can you pause that? There's no
Evidence.
Come
Oh,
on.
it's just by coincidence. Across the nation, all this has happened. It's just a
It
coincidence.
is some of these things are happening on the same day.
Yeah. Within hours of each other.
Common sense would tell you it's a coordinated attack.
No, she's misrepresenting what's going on.
She's trying to downplay it.
Yeah,
She's about everything.
She's a Democrat.
Man, didn't the guy pull up in front of Trump Towers and whoop explosives?
Right, yeah. Not too long ago.
It's not coordinated.
Yeah.
liberal reaction to Tesla's troubles.
Tesla stock is way down, almost disastrously so. People have been.
I mean, I was happy when Budweiser stock went down.
Yeah.
You know, but it is what it is.
Vandalizing Tesla vehicles, new Tesla vehicles. Please don't vandalize. Don't ever vandalize Tesla vehicles. And so,
Why don't they approach things like
That's
Republicans did? Like we protested Bud Light. Was there any damage? Did we ever tear up any property?
Right.
It was just a protest.
It's a peaceful protest.
Yeah, it didn't get violent.
We boycotted your product.
Right.
Because we don't like alcohol companies pushing a gender ideology on kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know it's a dark time, but I was saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping.
Tesla stock still up, what, 30% over the last year?
Yeah, and it's still a $765 billion company. But it's crazy.
Yeah.
You have Democrats want an American-owned company to go out of business. They're never done. I have not seen one Democrat, especially these politicians, that announced this coordinated attack against Tesla.
No.
But they want to make jokes about the stock going down.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. A politician, an elected official, would do that.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to be clear. No one at this table condones violence, right? Setting cars on fire, breaking windows, whatever, all of that is bad. But the question is, I mean, is it okay for an American company to just be hated, for people to want it to not do well?
Let me just be clear. I'm against violence, destruction, anything like that. But, I mean, that looks like a peaceful protest to me, everything that I saw. Right? Just like January 6th Republicans. This was just a tour around the Tesla facilities. Isn't that what you see, Republicans? A peace.
He's trying to say that Republicans didn't see that was violence on January 6th.
Yeah, of course there's violence.
Yeah. It was a peaceful protest, but it got out of hand, and some bad apples did some bad things that day. So in the end, was it a peaceful protest? No.
Yeah, what Republicans saying that was a peaceful protest?
Yeah, some people got out of hand.
Yeah.
A young lady got shot that day by the cops. I don't think she deserved it, but things did get out of hand. So he's misrepresenting how Republicans see what happened on that day.
Right. But these are the very same people who called that an insurrection, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That it was a coordinated attack.
Right.
Take over the government.
But there's no plans. You don't see anywhere where there's plans that they did it.
Nobody copped to it. Who was going to take over the government? What plans? You didn't about have weapons. No. You actually look at what's happening with Tesla. That's actually, this dude is trying to say that's a peaceful protest. You have to be joking. Arson.
Yeah, it's
never peaceful.
Yeah, he's just being sarcastic.
Yeah.
He's patronizing Republicans.
Yeah.
Is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Peaceful protest? Just a peaceful tour.
I think go back to point one. When you set a car on fire, you should go to jail. You're a criminal.
Any car,
I don't think we have to
actually.
talk about it
not
in any
just
other
Tesla.
context. And all those cars have cameras in them, and those dealerships have cameras. You're beyond being stupid when you do that. You're going to go to jail, and you now have a government that just got their mandate. They can't wait to find idiots that do this. You're going to spend 5 to 20 years in prison. If they get them on terrorism, which I think is a stretch, they will have no parole, no shortened sentence. They'll rot in hell in prison for 20 years. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned, that's okay. Breaking in, shooting a car, setting on fire, nothing to do with the politics, nothing to do with Tesla. You are a criminal, and you should go
What about the broader
to
question
jail.
about the protest factor? I mean, you heard
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
That's not a protest. You're burning people's stuff up.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine in protest companies you don't agree with. But like, it's totally fine. We get that. I don't even know why she's asking this question.
Yeah, if you don't like that, if you don't like what Elon Musk stands for, boycott his product. Yeah. You don't go to dealerships and then go to private owners and, vandalize their cars. Yeah. That's not a peaceful protest. That's vandalism. That's
You're attacking his dealerships, and you're attacking people who could be Democratic or Republican that has the car.
That's the thing, Keith. A majority of these people that own Teslas, they're Democrats.
Yeah, because they bought the car before he made that switch on them.
Exactly.
Protest. You're a criminal.
I'm talking about Tim Walz and his comments about the Tesla stock. He says it gives him a boost to see that stock going down.
That poor guy didn't check his portfolio and his own pension plan for state. It's beyond stupid what he did. He's talking down a 3.5% weighting in his own pension plan. I mean, what's the matter with that guy? He doesn't check the well-being of his own constituents in his state.
I mean,
that's their
to
investment
your
fund.
point,
What a
virtue signaling.
bozo.
That's
the
what he's
Minnesota
doing.
Tesla.
Oh, God forbid he has some type of principle. And that it's not just about the money. It's about the piece of crap that's in charge. That's slashing everyday Americans' jobs. Maybe he's not just a greedy fool like you.
A greedy fool. Hey, wait a minute. People in the private sector lose their jobs all the time.
Yeah.
But because there's a political motivation behind it, because we need to cut back on our spending in our government.
Our country's in trouble. We're going bankrupt.
Oh, just because you don't like people. Oh, now y'all want to have a protest. Now y'all want to talk about it. This happens to Americans every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, it's got clearly.
Happened to me several times in my life.
Yeah, clearly he doesn't understand that. How much are we in debt? 30. It's like 30 some odd $1 trillion.
Is it that much?
Yeah, it's outrageous. This country's going bankrupt.
Yeah.
And he's saying, what'd he say?
Oh, and he said
Elon Musk doesn't have any principles,
and he's
a
great.
horrible guy.
He's greedy fool. He's the man that helped save those astronauts that was trapped in space for 8-9 months.
Yeah, but he's a
greedy fool.
He's a horrible person.
How's he a greedy fool? He bought Twitter. He's never going to recoup that money because he bought it because he believes in freedom of speech.
Yeah,
Look how much billions of dollars he's donated to help America.
yeah.
Look how much money he's lost in his stock because he's taking a stance on what's going on in our country.
Look how many Americans that guy employs with good paying jobs.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of wasteful spending in our government, and he's cutting that out to save the country's infrastructure from the dollar, from keeping the dollar from going to zero. Why do you think inflation is such a huge problem?
Yeah.
Because the government prints money all the time. We need to stop that. We need to cut all the wasteful spending. But you want to say Elon Musk has no principles.
Yeah.
He's a horrible person.
But if you want to say he's a horrible person, name me one Democrat, somebody on the left, that you actually name me one Democrat politician that's did more for the American people than Elon Musk. Just one. You can't name one.
Yeah. Are these people firebombing cars and killing people's vehicles? Are they principal people? I'm thinking he would say yes.
Yeah. I'm actually trying to learn some, but I can't.
State Board of Investment. They have 1.6 million shares in Tesla in their retirement fund, 211,000 shares in a non-retirement fund. It's a relatively small amount, but that's one company, one single stock, and that's because Tesla is a huge part of the tech growth. But this is not the first time that companies have been in the crosshairs of protests. I mean, Republicans have protested companies all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
we protest. We don't burn stuff down.
Yeah. I mean, January 6th, that isolated incident.
That was an aberration.
Yeah.
Now I think more often, I think in the grand scheme
It was
of things,
instigated.
It was instigated,
And they wanted it to happen.
yeah.
If you didn't want that to happen, why was it the National Guard there?
Chief.
And why are you firing flashbangs into the crowd when at the time they were peaceful?
Yeah, I think calling them flashbangs is an understatement. Those are concussion grenades.
Yeah, yeah.
the violence is absolutely unspeakable and terrible and should be condoned. But in terms of the broader theme, I've covered so many companies who a particular political party or group of people go after them, and it tends to die down. So in 2014, everyone on the left hated the Coke industries. Coke is one of the largest privately held companies today. They're not impacted. You think about Meta and all those massive boycotts in 2020. Meta is one of the largest advertising companies in the world. They are doing fine. I think even about Budweiser, their reputation has recovered from some of the scandal. So I think it's horrific that there's a lot of this violence, but companies being targeted, especially by one political party, doesn't ruin them forever. Oftentimes it's just one solid period of the time that they have to go through it.
Well, let's play some of the Budweiser sound just to remind people of this was just a couple years ago, actually.
And I think this is different for Tesla and Elon Musk. I think Tesla's screwed. They make, first of all, the cars are pieces of trash. They're complete garbage. Look how much Teslas are, even before all this happened.
What?
They're not built well. Their quality checks are horrible.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's all you why I say that.
The cars are not built well.
Tons of issues. I mean, the cars have problems in and in itself. Elon Musk is too much of a narcissistic person. Constantly wants to be in the public eye, tweeting disgusting things.
He is a troll.
He can't help but put himself in the center of the room at all times, just like Donald Trump.
Yeah, Elon be trolling.
Yeah, he be trolling hard.
And because of that, Tesla will be in front of people's minds as far as companies not to invest in, cars not to buy. Even people who support Elon Musk and Tesla don't want to buy those cars now. They're calling those cars Nazi cars.
Now you're speaking for other people. You don't know what people are going to invest in. Yeah, the only people calling those that type of car is people like you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just shocked that Republicans are so surprised by this backlash.
No, we're not surprised at this point. Especially when you're talking about Democrats. We're not surprised at all. Y'all put men in women's sports in their restrooms.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not really surprised because Democrats are crazy.
Yeah.
When it comes to protests, I mean, look at the whole George Floyd riots.
Yeah.
Just burning buildings down.
Yeah.
Some people lost their lives during it.
I mean,
so it doesn't surprise us. But this going against Tesla, At this scale?
Yeah, at this scale, no.
it's
I would
kinda
never expect y'all to start burning up Tesla vehicles and keying private owners' vehicles.
Yeah, y'all attacking an American-made company.
That's a whole nother level of crazy.
Yeah.
American beer brand Bud Light knocked $4 billion off of its parent company Anheuser-Busch's market cap this past week. And this is great. This is a great thing, and we need to keep it up.
I understand Bud Light is piss water masquerading as beer. So I guess that, you know, it's sort of trans beer.
This boycott is just getting started. It's not losing its
Christ is
legs.
king.
It's not petering out. It's not waiting for the storm to pass. This boycott means business. This boycott, this is such wonderful news.
He was shaking her head at that, but it's totally okay to firebomb Tesla. Like this is a peaceful protest.
Yeah, that's peaceful. No one was injured. No property was damaged. I mean, the only property was damaged was the property he bought and he purchased on
Exactly.
probably on.
Yeah.
Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
That's a boycott.
Sorry
That's
for
a peaceful
interrupting the video
protest.
again, but I have to say one thing. That all that hate for Budweiser, these psychopaths, was because Budweiser had a trans person in a commercial.
Nah, that's not what happened, dude. He's a trans
He
person.
actually called us psychopaths? Y'all the one burning up Teslas? They're not psychopaths? You said it was mainly peaceful.
Look, he said it was a trans in a commercial. That's not what happened. It was an ad on TikTok. Dylan Mulvaney, he's a dude that transitioned to a woman, suppose. He's trans, right? But he put that ad on TikTok. His fan base is comprised of teenagers, kids.
Yeah.
And they paid him to do an alcohol ad.
Yeah.
That's what
That's crazy.
Republicans are protesting.
Right. And Anheuser-Busch is like saying that their biggest demographic of customers, I would say, is Republicans, conservatives, rural America.
Yeah.
That's why they boycotted that product,
Yeah.
because they don't agree with pushing gender ideology on kids,
Yeah.
let alone pushing beer on kids.
Exactly. Let's see what else this dude got.
But we're psychopaths.
This is what they were rebelling against. The people rebelling against Tesla right now are rebelling against it because he's running around with a chainsaw, so giddy about cutting everyday working people's lives.
Chainsaw. Where you get that
With
from?
no compassion
he
of
had
ripping
one.
people's livelihoods away from them.
I think it's horrible that people lose their jobs, but like you said earlier, this happens all the time. They're not all these hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, is going to wasteful projects.
Yeah.
What was it? 250 million with the trans studies on
Transgender rats.
Yeah, there was trans and rats.
Yeah. Does that sound cost effective for the American people? How does that benefit us? Y'all trans and rats and hamsters and birds and pigeons.
Do you not see the difference here?
Yeah, I do. You don't.
You can't make it up. But look, I mean,
there is a difference.
I mean, what is the difference? I mean, I'm not talking about the violence. We've already established
Hey,
that.
I want to say this one thing. Yeah, it's okay for y'all to boycott Tesla.
That's fine.
But it's never okay to burn down or vandalize other people's property. That's the distinction I want to make. That's what Republicans did. We boycott. Y'all using violence and arson to send out your message. We never did that. Yeah, January 6th is one exception, but that was just an aberration.
What's the difference between that and Tim Walz saying, I get a kick out
Hey,
of
first of all,
stock
look,
tanking"?
Tim Walz is a complete moron to me. I have to be very honest, and I'm not surprised why the American people did not choose him. Nothing against the vice president. With that said, Elon Musk employs 80,000+ Americans. Most of them are working class people. The implications of the stock, let's say this were to continue on for another year, so I'm just throwing out a hypothetical. Will the company at some point have to decrease its workplace? Most of those people, I would imagine, probably vote for Democrats, at least some.
Great point. They could lose their jobs if Tesla go under. Do y'all care about their jobs?
Right.
You don't even know, these people probably 50-50, Republican, 50 Democrat.
Yeah.
Do y'all really care about them?
Yeah.
That is a great point he made.
Some of them. So now you're impacting people who likely share your worldview because you disagree with Elon Musk. Don't buy the car. Just like those guys are saying, let's protest Anheuser-Busch, et cetera. We're just not going to buy their beer.
This dude is shaking his head.
Yeah. That's just
I'm
common
okay with
sense.
that.
Yeah.
But destroying public property, there is no place for that. I agree with Kevin. Lock them up and set an example that this is not what we're going to tolerate in this country.
Obviously, the violence is completely unacceptable, and these people will go to jail. I mean, you can't burn a dealership and not get caught eventually and go to jail. But it is, again, the broader question here about has it crossed the line when people are sort of rooting for the failure of a company?
Well, first, let me say, until yesterday, I think I was one of the only Democratic elected officials to unambiguously condemn the violence and destruction against Tesla. I don't think you have to be tough on crime to do that. As you know, my grandfather is part of Gandhi's Satyagraha movement, independence movement. He said sabotage is a form of violence. I mean, this is not the best form of protest, and it's not the tradition. The second point is, I'm not going to root against Tesla. There are 20,000 people who work in my district who make a living off this. They're building electric vehicles that ultimately are good for the climate. I have huge, huge problems with what Elon Musk is doing. Have the protest and the conversation and criticism of Musk. Don't take it out on a company where you have workers, where you have engineers, where you have scientists, which are creating wealth for the country, which is helping the climate. And I think Democrats have to be able to offer.
You see this dude shaking his head? This dude shaking his head.
Common sense perspectives.
Trying to learn
focus
something.
on what the.
We're trying to learn something from this dude. Yeah, I'm trying to learn his perspective, but so far, all I hear is crazy town.
Problem is with Musk, don't focus on the wealth of a company.
The other thing.
Wouldn't it be a beautiful place if that was the typical Democrat mindset? Yeah, yeah. Okay, this dude's about to say something. Let's see what he got to say.
I just disagree with that. I think it is important to focus on the wealth of the company. The reason for that is because that guy with that company aided in him becoming the richest man in the world, and is why he's able to control Trump like the sock puppet that he is. It's the reason he's able to cut hundreds of thousands of jobs of everyday working Americans. This is the reason he has his powers, because he was able to accumulate this wealth. So we have to hurt them in their pockets so that they don't have this power.
You think you're gonna destroy Elon Musk? He's still the richest man in the world. His stock could fall another 50%. He would still be the richest man in the world. There's nothing y'all can do to change that. And just the way he's spending his money to support his country is his own political opinions. Yeah. Just because you might disagree with the man doesn't mean you should go out there and try to sabotage and vandalize and commit these terrorist acts against his company.
Yeah, he said Trump is a
puppet.
A puppet. No, he's not. He's been empowered by a majority of the country who voted. Yeah. He's not a puppet. You think Trump is a puppet?
Yeah.
That dude says whatever he wants. You know what he's doing? He's just regurgitating all these left-wing talking points that he hear on CNN, MSNBC. He's not actually thinking for himself.
Yeah, so far during his video, he hasn't shared not one original thought. It's always a talking point.
Yeah, regurgitated that he heard from somebody else.
Yeah,
because I've heard that point of view plenty of times.
Yeah.
And yes, I feel for the people who work for Tesla, the 80,000 people. But how about everyone else that they're going after? How about everyone, all the working class Americans they're going after? The constant demonizing of people.
Who's demonizing the people that worked at those companies? We're just cutting the jobs.
Yeah, our government is too big and too expensive. We can't even budget ourselves because every year it goes up and up and up.
Yeah.
And if we continue on this progress,
this path,
our dollar's going to collapse. The country's going to collapse. We're going to be broke.
Yeah, that's why we have a problem with inflation.
Yeah, that's why our private sector cuts jobs, because they can't afford those workers. The government can't afford these workers.
Yeah, they cut jobs because the company's not profitable. So I got to let you go. This is not profitable for the country. All this wasteful spending. So you got to go.
Yeah, he's not demonizing anybody.
Any empathy for them? Is there any compassion for them? People are pissed. People are protesting because
adults.
He's
literally
ripping people's livelihoods away. No compassion whatsoever.
Sucks.
That's just the tip of the iceberg.
From what I heard, the administration is giving these people like great severance packages.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, from the ones I spoke to. I mean, he's like paying these people a year in advance.
Well, because our brother worked for the government.
Yeah. Offer them free retirement.
Well, that's for people that's been out a long time. Yeah.
But these people, you act like these people are just being let go with no resources, no nothing, no paycheck, nothing. These people are getting great severance packages.
Yeah, some of them. People that's under probation.
Yeah.
No, it's over.
Yeah. Short term, you've been on job, you done. But if you've been on job any point of time, they're going to offer you a great severance package.
And it's because of his overwhelming wealth. So yes, I think it's fine to focus on the company. And by the way, that same guy wants to replace those American workers with Indian foreign workers. That's why he was fighting so hard about the H-1B visa thing. And he said that Americans were too stupid and they couldn't be taught this. And the reason he said this disgusting.
I think that was the idea of the guy running from Vivek. Swami.
Yeah.
I think Elon said that too.
But this dude is fake outrage. You actually care about American workers losing their job to immigrants? No, you don't. The only reason why you're speaking out against this because you're anti-Trump.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Anti-Elon Musk. Yeah.
Disgusting insult was just because he wants to exploit foreign Indian workers and pay them less than he would have to pay Americans. Like, are you effing kidding me?
I mean, the other side of this coin is a company like Ben & Jerry's. The CEO says...
She looks crazy with them glasses.
Why would you wear that on CNN? Just tone deaf.
This is where I think it starts getting crazy.
That he was fired.
When they go to the black woman.
Because you know Ben & Jerry's, they put out a political statement about virtually everything. And they've been pretty strident against a lot of the things happening in the Trump administration. If it is true that he was fired for that reason, what do you say to that?
I think it's remarkably unfair. Shout out to Ben & Jerry's because they've taken some really incredible stances. We're talking about people who should be locked up and go to jail. It's the same party that's rooting for and seeking a pardon for Derek Chauvin. It is so rich to me to see that folks don't understand when folks use their platforms of privilege to ensure that the least of these among us have a voice in the process. I don't condone violence, but I wish people would take a look in the mirror and see what's actually happening. This is not an America First company. It's a South African First company. That's what Tesla is. But this is the same party that talks about America First and make America great again, but they're giving someone unfettered access who is...
What do you mean it's a South African first?
How many Americans did
That's an American company.
I think they employ
80,000 Americans. It's founded in America.
Hey, he's looking at her like she's crazy. Yeah. He's agreeing with her.
Yeah. Everything she said was a lie.
An immigrant. And if you leave it to this party to talk about, there's no space for immigrants.
Okay.
No. Some of us are here by force.
Some of us are lesser immigrants?
No, you're right. That's exactly what y'all think. That's exactly what y'all think.
He's a lesser immigrant?
No. What I'm saying is...
He's tainted because you're from South Africa and he's really brilliant?
Oh, you know what is so funny about that? Y'all are also the party of the birtherism movement.
Wow, he's a tainted immigrant.
No. That's what you all would have liked to say about Barack Obama.
Where do I fit? I'm average Lebanese. Am I like second class or where am I?
You tell me, ask your party.
Wow.
I mean, he doesn't need to ask the party.
Imagine if Trump would have said that.
He's got all this fake outrage, like Republicans are racist and xenophobic and don't like immigrants. Black woman.
I didn't know.
He's completely not. He's such a fool that he's not seeing the point that she's making.
What point is she making?
When immigrants are people of color, there's some type of danger. There's such an issue. There's such a threat. But
if you come in our country illegally,
and you're
a criminal.
Yeah, and you're with Trin Diagua, you're dangerous.
Yeah. Nobody's making that association with brown people. Unless you're in the country illegally, which means you're a criminal.
Yeah, brown people are putting that association on them through their conduct.
Yeah.
When a South African richest man billionaire is ripping people's jobs away from them, clearly trying to incite a riot and violence by agreeing that Derek Chauvin should be looked into pardoning. What is that for?
Hey, who said that? Was that Ben Shapiro that brought that up?
I think he may have chimed in too. Elon Musk.
Yeah,
I don't agree he should be pardoned.
No,
I think he should get a new trial. and go through that process, I don't think he should be pardoned.
Elon must do that because he cares about the American people. He just cares about us. He just cares about fixing America. This idiot doesn't realize that your party are full of racists. Yeah, I don't believe in absolutes. I don't think all Republicans are racist. But if you're a racist, you're in politics, you're a Republican. That's the point.
That's what you call circular reasoning.
Yeah, you just...
Did you hear what he just said? I don't believe all Republicans are racist. But then what does he say?
But when you're in politics and you're Republican, you're racist.
Yeah. Does that make any sense?
No.
Point that she's making. You're okay with this white immigrant, but such a threat.
He's legal.
Once their color of skin changes, huh?
There's not, Angela's entitled to her views. There's not a single person in terms of leadership in the Republican Party who wants to get Derek Chauvin out of prison. That was a ludicrous idea
Elon.
that came out from some people who are...
Elon is an unelected official.
Yeah. He's just an ordinary citizen like the rest of us.
Yeah, as far as on the Republican Party, I'm not seeing anybody advocating for that. Ben Shapiro started this.
Right.
And all he was doing was... I seen a Mark Dice video. He did a video. Remember, he set up this website to sign petitions to get him Trump can take a look at it or something.
Yeah.
At the bottom of that website, Ben Shapiro set up, he was grabbing people's emails.
Exactly.
So he could send them emails to market them, the Daily Wire to them.
Yeah, it's a publicity stunt. That's all it was.
He was just trying to get emails to help his company to sell them products from Daily Wire.
Yeah.
No Republican.
Yeah.
Is pushing for that.
Ben Shapiro doesn't speak for all people, all Republicans.
Yeah, I'm talking about actual Republican politicians in Congress.
Yeah.
Nobody's pushing for that.
That would be suicide for the Republican Party to pardon
There's
that man.
nothing to gain from that. Because part of the reason why he's in jail, if a man is overdosing, which I think he did, why would you have him on his chest and with your knee in his shoulder? Why don't handcuffed when he's overdosing? So he's about to die. So instead of doing that, won't you set him up and let the whole world see him die on his own? Well, that's why I think got him in trouble.
What got Derek Chauvin in trouble? He was flexing on everybody. He already had the man handcuffed. He already had him subdued. There's no need to have that man on a supine position with his illness. He should have just rolled him over or just set him up. But no, he's flexing because he feels a certain way because, you know, how white police officers are seen. And it got him in trouble. Yeah. And then, unfortunately, it got him convicted.
And he actually okay, let's keep doing
on social media who are podcast hosts. Number two, Elon Musk's company is an American company. Now, you don't like his views. I respect that. You're entitled to that.
It's not just about me not liking his
but it
views.
is an American company, Angela, that employs a lot of American people.
That's true.
Black, white,
What-
Latinos,
I'm not
Republican,
you guys
Democrat.
are misunderstanding my point. The point is the hypocrisy inside the GOP.
Yes.
I'm not rooting
What
for the
hypocrisy?
demise of the company.
Yeah.
I'm asking for there to be fairness across the aisle about how we see immigration, that we don't prefer South African refugees, as they're now being called, when their land was stolen, as some of your party are
here we
saying
go,
right
that land
now.
is stolen.
Derek Chauvin is not just a random podcast idea. This is also the party that wanted to get rid of the Department of Justice police database for transparency and accountability when crimes were committed against American people.
And on the Derek Chauvin point, I mean, the question was asked by a conservative reporter.
And
in
the
White
president,
House,
the White House said no. I mean, why are we even debating this? I mean, the White
We're
House said
debating
no.
it because this is what the party is about.
So
That's
the
not
question
what
of
it is, Michael.
Well, what is the Democratic Party about? Can you answer that question?
Sure, happy to. If you're
Because
the
most
host,
people
are
in
you
your party aren't
hosting?
even
Hang on a
happy
second.
with the direction of your
I'm
party.
happy to talk about that too. Are you
I'd love to know.
Okay,
Please
are you
educate me and the
hosting or
rest of the
Abby?
American people
we
who are
have
watching
much
this
more
show.
ahead on that, but Sarah, go
No,
ahead.
just going back to the Ben and Jerry's.
Hey, him having to face with racism in his party really struck a nerve there.
What racism?
For him to say, "Oh, no one in leadership," Elon Musk is the one that agreed to it. Ben Shapiro, one of the biggest names.
He's a podcast, like the dude said.
Yeah.
He's a podcaster, just like us.
Yeah.
He doesn't represent. I don't represent the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Republican politicians.
Yeah. The Republican Party didn't take anything Ben Shapiro said serious about Derek Chauvin.
Yeah, it was just an email grab for him.
Yeah.
On right-wing media, that right-wing sick psychopath ecosystem is the one that brought this up. And he knows that he got cornered there. That's why he tries to change the subject. Whoa.
This fool got men competing against women in women's sports.
Yeah, but we psychopaths. Look, y'all are just misrepresenting how Republicans view legal immigration in this country.
Yeah.
A majority of the brown immigrants that came through our southern border illegally, they was here they came here under false pretenses. To qualify for asylum in America, you got to be actually running from war and persecution, communism, socialism.
They're here for economic reasons only.
Right.
They just so happen to be brown.
Right. And your previous president created an app for these people to come in our country illegally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, other people that came in our country, they probably more likely they're going to meet the prerequisites to come here under asylum. Now, Elon Musk being inventor, being brilliant as he is, people like that is going to be fast tracking to America. People with doctors, things of that nature, they're going to be fast tracked to come in our country.
Yeah.
All countries do that.
Yeah.
United States is not the only country to do that.
Yeah.
Well, what are Democrats about? It's so incredible. Little Shermichael got triggered there.
He misrepresent everything.
Yeah. He's triggered that she makes no sense.
Yeah.
What hypocrisy? The Republican Party is not a racist party.
Yeah. We just believe in illegal immigration.
The Democrat Party picks people just because they're black. Biden picked Kamala just because she's a black woman.
Yeah. Why? Because he wants black people to vote a certain way.
Yeah, the Democrat Party uses minorities as tokens to show that, hey, we're not racist.
Yeah. Look at Ilhan Omar. She came in our country seeking asylum. Now she's a politician.
Yeah. If Republicans are as racist as you say they are, that would have never happened.
Yeah. 80,000. Where's she from in Africa?
Somalia.
Yeah, they dropped like 80,000 immigrants there legally seeking asylum. Changed the whole demographics of the area. Now that's why she gets voted in office.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do it the right
I think
way.
One of the challenges is if you're a brand and you align with a political point of view, which, by the way, isn't always bad for business. Patagonia, high trust scores when we measure them. Hobby Lobby, high trust scores when we measure them. But if you're going to sell to a large conglomerate, as Ben & Jerry's did in 2000 when they sold to Unilever, you then have to understand that you're putting yourself in a position where your corporate overlords can do what they need to do for business. Right now, we're in an environment where having a company in your portfolio with a political perspective can be a risk. We see this in M&A all the time. I sat in the AT&T Time Warner trial when the DOJ sued AT&T over a merger that did not seem to need to be sued, according to lawyers, but most likely was because of CNN.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not just, I mean, the truth is it's not just any political perspective. It's any anti-Trump political perspective. Because on the other side of things, here is what the Commerce Secretary, the actual Commerce Secretary, is saying on TV just tonight about a publicly traded stock. Listen.
I think if you want to learn something on this show tonight, buy Tesla. It's unbelievable that this guy's stock is this cheap. It'll never be this cheap again. When people understand the things he's building, the robots he's building, the technology he's building, people are going to be dreaming of today and Jesse Waters and thinking, gosh, I should have bought Elon Musk's stock.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, isn't it a conservative principle that the government shouldn't be picking winners and losers?
Why don't we ask ourselves about the market? It's
Wait a
down
minute.
8
Who
to
is
20%.
picking winners and losers here?
Yeah, I don't.
We're picking winners and losers here? When a dude's saying, hey, it's the cheapest you ever going to see this stock?
Yeah.
Why is that picking winners and losers and advising American people the things he's doing behind closed doors that a lot of people don't understand what's going on?
Yeah.
That's picking winners and losers.
Yeah, she made a great point earlier about when companies meet a firestorm like this.
Yeah, short term.
It's short term they recover. So what he's saying is factually true.
Yeah.
I mean, Elon Musk is doing some amazing things.
Yeah.
And he is absolutely right. That stock is going to go through the roof.
He saved our astronauts.
Yeah.
% depending on the sector you look at. Tech is down. Tesla's down. We're having a market correction. Happens every 18 to 20 months. And EVs are under pressure because of lots of competition, including from China.
Yeah.
And so there's a reason. It's not just the fact that it's a political issue around Doge.
Well, then
that
why
the
is
stock
Lutnick
down.
saying? Why is he saying that if it's not about politics? He seems to think that it is because he's saying, "Oh, I'm going to use my platform as the Commerce Secretary to tell people how to buy and sell stocks."
Well, Howard's actually a private sector guy. He's well known.
I get that. He's got a government job now.
You know,
right?
and there's merit to to maybe having somebody that worked on Wall Street for that long in that position. But at the end of the day, when people say, "Oh, Tesla,"
So that dude shares some stock tips.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Pelosi do the same?
Yeah.
And you're gonna demonize him for that?
Fortune on the stock market.
Yeah.
She doesn't share anything.
That was good advice he gave.
I know.
Tesla's down because it's a political problem. I think it's a market issue, and if it has great performance and they deliver cars and they make money, the stock will go back up like every tech stock. What about Boeing? That's even a bigger piece of crap.
Let me ask you, Kevin, because you're a business guy.
That's even. He let it slip there. He knows Tesla is a big piece of crap. He knows that company shouldn't be worth what that is.
Sarcastic.
What it is.
He said Boeing is a big piece, even bigger
And
piece.
I have a whole spiel about this little discussion here in a couple minutes.
Talk to all these business folks.
Boeing
Be
builds
honest. I mean,
planes.
you look at Trump's policies, consumer confidence down from the lowest point in 2 years. One day tariffs,
don't believe
the other
that.
day not tariffs. One day someone's cutting something. I mean, aren't you hearing honestly that there's uncertainty in the business world? They don't know what the policy is going to be, and that this
I'm
has
a very
caused,
transparent
that,
guy. I
that
think
this
I'm
has
known
caused
that way.
a lot of problems.
Why don't you wait till April 2nd to see all the tariff schedules in every country on earth? And at the end of the day, even the British Prime Minister called over the weekend saying, before we get to April 2nd, let me level out a little bit. Let's make a deal before you expose my tariffs on agriculture.
Yeah, but the market's moving faster. I'll just
Hold
say, like I cover advertising. Advertising's already cutting budgets.
Yeah,
They're not waiting.
that's true. Yeah. Okay, everybody hold that thought because we are about to talk.
See a lot.
All right, the panel is done there, and clearly this stuff is working. You see Republicans freaking out about Tesla stock, Trump making an infomercial in the White House lawn. You see Fox constantly interviewing Elon Musk going on interview. There's reports that Elon Musk is crying. Like this is worldwide.
They misrepresent what's going on and they just sensationalize everything.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is crying in the White House.
Hey, Mr. What's his O'Leary? He made an interesting point. Trump is fitting to expose all these other nations who's charging us tariffs, and we don't do the same to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what he's fitting to expose.
Yeah, I didn't know that Canada charges us 200% tariffs on some things.
Yeah.
And we don't charge them anything at all.
Yeah.
Trump's just making the system fair.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what he's got to say.
That people are pissed at Elon. Because if our economy crashes, this affects the world. And it's not only that, it's what he's pushing.
What
right?
is he pushing?
Guys, this is a horrible, vile person who does a Nazi salute, not just once, twice. When called out on it, did
My
he have
heart
the
goes out
empathy
to
that
you.
he wants us to have? The empathy to apologize?
Yeah, right. This guy does not have his own original thoughts.
Yeah.
Whatever he hears on CNN, MSNBC, all these other left-wing mainstream talking heads, he just regurgitates.
Yeah, everything he says is a talking point. Like when I saw Elon Musk do that, I was like, okay.
I thought, like, what the hell is that? I said, what the hell is that?
Yeah, he has Asperger. I said he got too excited and he did something silly.
Yeah. So
Right?
he's a social...
or he was trolling people.
Because people were already calling him that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is a troll.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, he made jokes about it after. But we should have empathy and love for the racist billionaire who just wants to fix our lives
Racist
by
billionaire.
firing everyone he could and making fun of them running around with a chainsaw like an imbecile. Right, guys, those of us on the left
with chainsaws.
are generally
He didn't chase nobody.
He's
empathetic,
trolling.
kind, accepting people. But this dude, all he's doing is hurting everyday people's lives with no compassion whatsoever.
Okay, you said that like a million times. I'm done with him.
Yeah, the private sector does it all the time. But no one ever talks about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely didn't learn anything from this guy. He
just says the same thing that you hear on CNN and MSNBC.
Yeah.
Okay? I did not hear not one original thought.
Yeah. Yeah, but Republicans, for the most part, when we protest, it's typically peaceful.
Yeah.
The January 6th, a few bad apples got out of hand.
Yeah.
But we typically, when we protest, we do it peacefully. Democrats, I can't think of a time where y'all did something peacefully.
Yeah, y'all have a proven track record to burn stuff up. Billions of dollars doing that Summer of Love during COVID about George Floyd riots.
Billions of dollars.
People actually lost their lives. And now y'all actually affirming
our beliefs about you people. You people are crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all burning Teslas? Killing private owners' vehicles?
Lunatics.
Yeah.
Hey, American patriots, don't forget you can support us at officialhodgetwins.com. Remember, anything you buy on our site gets you entered to win our Ford Raptor and $10,000 in cash.
Yeah, you can pick up some of my supplements or these clean patriotic t-shirts. Go to officialhodgetwins.com. Anything you buy from the site gets you automatically entered to win.
I already said that.